In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple steps to get a woman attached to you as fast as possible. If you're tired of women pulling away, flaking, and going cold, or never showing the level of interest you want them to show you, I want you to pay close attention, because if you do exactly what I say today, you're going to have a massive upper hand with women from this moment on. And instead of just being another nice guy who never gets the girl he wants, you will have the magic keys to make women desire you, respect you, and feel almost wildly attached to you. Attached to you. Keyword. If that sounds good, let's dive in. I'm Marnie, and from here on out, I will be your very own personal wing girl, and every week I'm gonna give you the no BS insider info about what women really want versus what they say they want, plus the most effective methods to win over any woman. So just hit that subscribe button now so that you never miss out on a video again. All right, here are the 3 steps to get a woman attached to you. Step number 1 is called the 80-20 rule. So before you can get a woman attached or obsessed with you and into you, you need to make her excited to talk to you and get to know you. So you need to trigger that attractive spark that gets her wanting to spend more time with you. Unfortunately, most guys mess up this part. And how do they do this, or why do they do this? But they treat conversations like a logical exchange of information. What do you do? Okay, well, this is what I do. Well, where are you from? Here's where I'm from. What are your hobbies? Well, here's what my hobbies are. Great. That's what I'm into as well. This type of conversation just creates no spark. It creates no excitement. It is just basic get to know you information. In fact, it makes a woman bored before she even gets to know the real you. This is why it's so important to follow what I call the 80-20 rule of attraction. And the 80-20 rule says that in your first meeting with a woman that you like, that you're attracted to, 80% of your conversation should be fun and playful and teasing and enjoyable, and only 20% should be getting to know each other on a logical level. In fact, you want to start being playful right away, as early as possible, before you get locked into a platonic, dull conversation that goes absolutely nowhere. One of the easiest ways to do this is to answer her initial questions in an absurd, playful manner. So let's say you're talking to a woman and she asks you, "So, what do you do?" Instead of just replying with the literal answer like, "I'm a software engineer and I really like it," say something absurd and playful like, "I'm an astronaut. I just came back from the moon yesterday. It was a great trip." Right? Just something fun and different. If she asks you, "Where are you from?" Heaven. Heaven. I came from heaven. Have you ever been up there? It's quite lovely. I know these are cheesy, but they're fun and playful. She asks you how old you are. You reply, "I'm 700 months old." You can also make conversations fun by responding playfully to her answers. So let's say you ask her, "What do you do for fun?" She tells you she loves to do yoga. Now, instead of being boring and logical like most other guys and saying, "Oh, that sounds cool. How did you get into that?" Right? That's just like a script, right? You could say something like, "That's cool. Can you levitate and stuff, or have you not learned to do that yet?" Here's another example. Let's say she tells you she has 2 cats. You could be like, "Oh, I don't like cats. I'm team dogs all the way. I guess we can't be friends." See how simple that is? Just make it more playful and fun. When you approach conversations like this, it quickly opens the door to more fun, more playfulness, more banter as the interaction goes along. It's not taking things so seriously and literal and logical. And like I said before, in that first interaction, it's really crucial. The more fun and playful you are in that first encounter, the more you stand out in her mind, and the more she feels about you, and the more excited she gets about you. That's what you want. This is when a woman goes to her girlfriends and says things like, "Oh my God, I met this cute guy yesterday," or "I think he really likes me and he's really fun. I can't wait to see him again." And that's the place that you want to be at before you take things forward with her, speaking about more serious things. So speaking of which, step 2 is where you want to build a deeper connection. Once you've sparked that initial interest, it's time to steer interactions towards deeper connections. Conversations that elicit a stronger emotional response from her. Things that reveal her values, her feelings, her motivations. Things that you should be evaluating from your point of view of whether or not you feel a connection to them. Right? What makes you attracted to her? So these types of conversations are crucial because women bond over this type of emotionally charged conversation. While flirting and bantering gets us excited, to want to know you more. Having deeper conversations is what goes beyond the initial attraction and starts to get us more invested and attached to you and connected to you. So many guys never are able to make this transition and only stay in the playful, fun, flirting phase. They see the women laugh and respond positively, so they think, oh, this is going well. But then after a date or two, she starts pulling away and she starts showing less interest or ghosting you, and you're left confused as to what just happened. You were doing so well. If you want to avoid this, you need to practice having deeper conversations on your dates. Ideally, you want your first 2 or 3 dates to be 60% fun and 40% meaningful conversations. And it means you need to get better at moving conversations towards feelings, motivations, and values. And I'll give you 3 easy ways to do this. So first is to ask a why question. Let's say you've been talking about travel and you've been joking and being playful about travel, and she mentions that she wants to go on a trip to Italy one day. Instead of replying with, oh, that's great, I'd love to go there too, or Italy sounds cool, or I was there a while back, it's really a gorgeous place, you'll love it, right? That's like a conversation ender. You can ask her, oh, why Italy? What is it about Italy that you want to go to Italy? Let's talk about her motivation behind this desire. Let's say she tells you it's because everyone raves about the food in Italy and how beautiful the cities are, or how she's always dreamt of taking a boat ride in Venice, or she loves those cozy Italian cafes she's seen online, or the majestic Roman culture architecture. Whatever her response is, now she's talking about something that moves her emotionally instead of just surface level chatter. Do you see where I'm going with this? There's more emotion to it. So here's another example. Let's say she tells you about how she's recently started doing Pilates. Instead of saying, oh, that's great, or oh, cool, Pilates, go a layer deeper and ask her why. She'll tell you why she chose Pilates, what stood out to her, or what she enjoys about it. And that just adds more emotional charge into the conversation. The second deep conversation tactic is to ask the question, how did that make you feel, or how did it make you feel? This is great when someone is talking about an event that happened in their lives. Let's say she's talking about when she got her first pet. You could ask her, how'd that make you feel? And she'll probably go, oh my God, I was so happy. I mean, he was the cutest little puppy and I was just so obsessed with him from day one. You know, this one time, it really gets people to open up. And she tells you a story that brings back fond memories. Now, you don't have to copy this question word for word every time. The idea is to probe for feelings behind the actions and events that someone tells you about. So let's say she tells you about her favorite band and that it's Nirvana, right? You could ask her, what is it that made her fall in love with that band? Like, what is it about that band? Or she tells you that she loves reading books. Ask her what made her fall in love with reading books. What is it about books that she loves? Act like you're a detective of people's feelings, values, and motivations, and you'll be better at recognizing the opportunities to move conversations in that direction. Now, that said, sometimes women and people in general might not feel totally comfortable opening up too much with a person they don't know fully yet, and they might give you short answers to your probing questions. That's why we have the third tactic, which is perhaps the most powerful of all of them, which is you go there first. That means you start revealing the feelings, the motivations, or values behind what you're talking about. You go there first. Let's say you're talking about the time you left your job and started a business. Tell her what motivated you to make that move. Tell her your emotions about it. How did it feel at the start? Why was it so important for you? People are far more likely to follow and mirror your actions than to go there first. And this is especially true for women. Women want you to lead the way in the context of dating and relationships. So this is the most important tactic of all. And it's not a tactic, it's the most important thing for conversation. And it's especially powerful when you're revealing your vulnerabilities and unflattering truths. So for example, let's say you've recently been through a painful divorce, and the topic of past relationships comes up in this conversation with your date. Instead of shying away from it, trying to hide it, or downplay the effect that it had on you, go into it without hesitation, with complete confidence. Let her know that it wasn't easy separating from someone you've been with for a long time. And it was even harder to put yourself out there again and start dating. In a confident way, you're talking about this. Talk about the frustrations and doubts you had with yourself. The only caveat is that you shouldn't dwell on these negative emotions. Like, I wouldn't say dive deeper into them. That would ruin your mood and it would ruin hers. You want to share the fact that you feel these things, you have these emotions without staying in it. I know this is easier said than done because sometimes it can trigger things, but it takes a lot of courage to open up, be vulnerable in the first place. But if you do it right, this is the stuff that builds a genuine connection between two people, a connection that goes beyond attraction, because it does two things for you. One, it lets people see, women see the real you, not a front, not a gimmick, the raw, unfiltered you, and people are magnetically drawn to that kind of authenticity. Women especially find it irresistible because of how much confidence and courage it exudes to be vulnerable. Not vulnerable the entire day, but vulnerable in a moment. Secondly, it invites people to talk about their own vulnerabilities and their own struggles. It invites women to drop the mask and stop trying to look perfect and be themselves, which they would really like on a date. And when someone creates that safe space for us to be real, be free, and be authentic, we can't help but become attached to that person and want to spend more time in their company. And this is where the next part comes in. Step number 3. Slow things down. When a woman is into you and she's putting in a lot of effort, most men have a tendency to go with the flow, meaning she's texting you every day. You're texting her back. She's calling you and you're always there. She wants to meet up all the time and you're happy to oblige. But this can be a huge mistake and can bite you in the butt later on. And here is why. When a woman is really into you, she'll want as much of your time and attention as she can get, which is a good thing. I know you want that. However, if you go with the flow and shower her with an abundance of time and attention, it loses its value. You lose value and you kind of lose yourself too. To put it differently, when she can see you and hear from you all the time, she doesn't have the chance to think about you and miss you or crave your presence. Instead, you become common. You lose the specialness that you initially had. This is why when you start pursuing or dating a woman, it's best to take things slow for you and for her. Even if she's texting you every day, it doesn't mean you have to text her back. If she's replying to you within 5 minutes, it doesn't mean you need to do the exact same thing. If she just went on a date and she wants to see you again tomorrow, you don't have to say yes. And in fact, it's sexier if you say no and offer another date. Less is more, slower is better. These are 2 phrases I need you to burn into your mind. I know most guys want to give the woman what she wants because they're afraid to make her upset and lose her in the process. But I promise you, I guarantee you that you're far more likely to lose her by being too available and over investing in her, because that's when we start to feel like you have nothing else going on and we're the only good thing in your life. And no woman wants to feel that. It's not attractive. We want to feel like you have a lot going on, you have other priorities and interests, and we can only have small slices of your time and attention. And then if you give us your time, then we feel special. And that commands respect, that increases your value and makes you a hell of a lot sexier. And that's why you don't want to give a woman too much, too fast, ever again, even if she's practically throwing herself at you. So let her wait for you to text back. Let her wait to see you again. Let her wonder what you're up to and why you aren't texting her back or wanting to see her again. The more that she thinks about you like that, the better it is. Because that's when she'll start craving you and getting more attached to you. And most importantly, that's when she'll truly value getting to be with you. Okay, speaking of value, I value you. I value your opinion, and I value understanding and knowing exactly what you need and what you want so that I can deliver the right content to you. I can make the videos that make sense for you based on your needs and wants, which is why I need you to do something for me, which actually ends up being beneficial for you. I have a quick survey that I want you to fill out. I've posted the link down below, and in this survey, it's a very quick survey. It'll take you about 2 minutes to fill out. You are going to answer questions about what kind of content you want from me, what kind of videos you want me to make, what topics you want me to cover, what things are challenging you most. I want to hear what is going on with you right now and what are your frustrations, your challenges, and your needs, okay? So I want you to go click the link below, and fill out the survey. And here's the thing. When you do fill out this survey, I'm going to give you a very special gift. It's a free masterclass, a free 2-hour masterclass on whatever topic you choose to get a masterclass on. A masterclass that I charge $147 for, you are going to get it for free. So I want you to fill out the survey below, please, so that I can start delivering you what you need and what you want. And I also want to give you a $147 free gift. Sounds pretty good to me. So click below, fill out the survey. And as always, thank you for watching this video till the very end. I'll see you next week.